Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm Andrew Pugsley, and this is my weekly improvised show, Isolation. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've watched the show before, thank you very much to begin with. And if you have, you will know that this is a show in which I every week improvise with the help of special guests a 30 or so minute improvised short film. And it's all, of course, based on your suggestions. So I think already people have been kind enough to put some suggestions in the feed, some things that they might like to see appear this week. Please, let's get the ball rolling on that. Anything you might want to see tonight, settings, character names, title of this week's story, any of that kind of stuff, you can put it down there. And I should say, this week we're raising money for the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust. So there's a link down there in the description, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. They'll give you a link to a Just Giving page where you can donate to that amazing organisation. So do please check that out. So joining me this week, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing none other than Mr. Justin Brett. Hello, Justin.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking.
I know that because
thank you for joining us this evening. How are you?
I am very well, thank you.
I mean, so far we're just incredibly polite to each other, Justin,
We're really
and I love
so
that.
Great.
Justin, what are you looking forward to seeing this evening?
I'm looking forward to. What am I looking forward to seeing? I'm looking forward to seeing a great theatre.
Absolutely, good.
And some
That's
awesome.
good.
I'm looking forward to seeing great engagement. I'm looking forward to seeing some excellent suggestions. There are some fantastic ones coming in now. I can see by the chat. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Already, I'm just going to have a little look over them here. We've got Rufus and Bart. Those are some great character names there. Ariel, the
Bert,
Orient Express.
Yeah.
Happy Executioners, Dragons. It's some amazing stuff. What else have we got here? We got a Mermaid, Big Ben, Crystal Healing Mystics, Igloo. There's just we're spoilt for choice, Justin. Absolutely spoilt for choice. Any of those you particularly like the look of, Justin?
I'm quite liking the word Ariel sprung out to me there. And we also had earlier on. I think Heather said something about a will reading. And that was quite fun. Your mum's just saying hello to me. Hello, Margaret. Nice to see you.
Thanks for watching, Mum. Great, fantastic. I think we've also got. Why don't you have a look and see whilst I introduce our musician for the evening, Duncan? Have a look, Justin, and see if you can think of one. See a suggestion that might work as a title for this evening's story.
Okay.
I should say to everyone watching at home, we also have improvising along with us this evening. I don't have his video up at the moment, but we have projected through the ether the audio of the amazing Duncan Walsh Atkins. Duncan, can you give us a little tinkle? Beautiful. More than a tinkle, that was a triumphant fanfare from Duncan Walsh Atkins, who'll be improvising underscore throughout the show this evening as well. And maybe we'll have the odd song thrown into the mix. Justin, have you found something that you like the sound of for a title?
For a title, well, the ones that I can see at the moment are there's Lost Penguins and also there's SpaceX and Astronauts. So maybe Astronauts or Lost Penguins.
Which one do you like the look of? Astronauts or Lost Penguins? I'm going to type it in right now. It's your decision, Justin.
Okay. We're going with Astronauts.
Astronauts. Fantastic. Okay.
That's one, Donna.
Lovely. Astronauts, I think, Justin, it's time for this evening's performance of Isolation. Take it away, Duncan. Hey there, Rufus.
Hey, Bill.
How's it going?
Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, good. We're at the T-minus 7,000, huh?
Looks like it. Looks like it's going to be a rough ride out there. Weather's looking pretty gnarly last time I looked.
Yeah, well, yeah. The weather always looks gnarly from your little apartment there in Santa Cruz, huh?
Absolutely. Santa Cruz, especially this time of year, it's stormy.
Got a couple palm
over
trees
there?
there, I noticed.
Yeah. Stormy palm trees. That's what we have in Santa Cruz. Yeah.
Famous
How are
for
you
it.
over there
Famous
in,
across the world. The Santa Cruz stormy palm trees, huh?
Yeah, famous for its penguins. On the beach at Santa Cruz, the penguins, they're the world's warmest penguins, the only warm penguins in the world. Normally they have a layer of blubber under their feathers, but these penguins, they're just skin and bone. And that's why they're lean, they're mean, and they're fast through the water.
Whoa, Rufus, I learned so much from you, buddy. I think you might be the most educated guy I've ever met. And, we work for NASA, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty close. I think I might be the most educated guy at NASA. And I sound like I'm just from the Bronx. And it doesn't make me sound so sharp, but, up here, yeah. Anyway, how are things in Houston?
Oh, where Mission Control is quite the place. Got myself my little rest room here, and only 7,000 minutes. We're up there.
Yeah.
Into the sky once again, sending another shuttle off for adventure, for dreams. And I think we might find we're going to send up a couple penguins this time, huh, Rufus?
I think so. Back in the 1960s, it was Ashkahani, the dog. And then in the 1970s, it was Kwake, the chimpanzee. And then men. Brave men.
Yeah.
Brave souls. Brave, intelligent, hot men. Hot, sweaty men. They'd squeeze themselves into those tight suits and get themselves standing there, oiled so that they could slide into those suits and looking up to space, the blood pumping around. Sometimes I get a little carried away. You can see it in my eyes. You can see the Saturn's rings in my eyes as I look up and see the planets shining down that inspire us so much. Because that's what it is to work for NASA. That's what it is to be a brave man or woman of the skies. Be you a penguin, be you a dog, be you, be you me, be you anybody out there. We are all the same under the rings of Saturn.
We're all the same under the rings of Saturn. Underneath the stars, we all embrace the same light. We're all the same underneath the glare of Jupiter. We're all the same when we go to sleep at night.
We're all the same when we strap inside a rocket. We're all the same as we shoot up to the stars. We're all the same if you got gum in your pocket and you're shooting up to Jupiter or Mars.
Rufus, it's time for me to go back to my station and commence countdown proceedings. T-minus only 6,500 now, but can I just say, buddy, you inspire me.
And you inspire me too, Bert. Don't forget that even though I may be the cleverest guy at NASA, you're the one with the biggest heart.
Thanks, Rufus.
You're welcome.
Good luck, and a good launch to you.
You too, buddy. So anyway, I'm really nervous about him going. I just get scared when he's away. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Rufus.
I know I come over all brave, but I miss him on these voyages. I do.
Yeah. It's okay. We're post-launch now. You can open up to me.
It's just, floating here so many miles away, thinking back there, and I just really love that dog.
Don't we all? Good old Dr. Octopus.
That
Never was there a finer border collie.
I know, and ever since the transplant, he's just been closer to me than you might ever believe.
His transplant? You mean he was once an actual octopus?
He was, yeah. And they transplanted a dog onto him and made him a dogtopus, which is what he is now.
Rufus, you have to remind yourself everything went brilliantly. You know, the way you combated that last second booster overheat, you know, and you didn't abort the mission. You just re-influxed the flow down to the Quantz angle. And then, you know, by just a 3% modification to the intake valve. That was genius. And now Dr. Octopus, the Doctopus is up there in space because of you, buddy.
That's true. That's true. And I just hope he has a good mission as we would like to have.
As we would like to have, Rufus?
You know, that sort of mission where everything goes entirely to plan and there's no mistakes.
You talking about 93?
Of course I'm talking about 93. What else would I be talking about?
Well, it could be 89 or 90, actually. But
That's
93
true,
was the worst.
Yeah, I know, or 78 was pretty bad too.
Don't talk about 78.
I'm talking about 78 because we were both there. Same as 93. That's because we're old.
Rufus, I apologized. I apologized every single day. Not always, admittedly, to you, but I apologize to myself every single day.
Well, you know, when things like that happen and when it's your fault, you say, oh yeah, you fluxed the capacitor, you spang the gram valve, and you twang the flang cap at the last moment, and you say that like it's necessary. Well, you know, if I hadn't hammed the twang hamp in the first place back in 93...
Yeah, I know. I know, then Ariel wouldn't have died.
Yes.
I loved her
Ariel
too,
wouldn't
Rufus.
have died.
I loved her too.
I never loved a penguin as much as I love that penguin, Ariel.
Me neither. Me neither.
And you took her from me. If you hadn't twanged that flange hamp, then we wouldn't be here today having this conversation. It's all sweetness and light when we're talking to each other from the distance. Or when we're at work, we got stuff to deal with. But every day, I see that twang hamp being flanged. And a tear comes to my eye, and I'm a tough NASA guy.
Okay. Look. I can't undo the past, Rufus, if, She'll never be part of our world now.
She won't.
I'm sorry, that seemed a little insensitive. It just occurred to me. Look, I can't undo it, and if you can't get over this, then maybe we should ask for different assignments. As it is, I'm over here in Houston, and you're in Santa Cruz. They could easily put us on different departments, and we'd never work on the same launch again. Is that what you want, buddy? Is that what you want?
Maybe that is what I want. Maybe it is. Then I don't have to see your face every day and be reminded of all of the loss that I feel. Look at you with your tidy hair, with your gray bits at the side that are so perfect, as if you dye them, but I know you don't.
Look, Rufus, I'll miss you.
I'd like to say the same.
Oof, that was cold.
Say that again.
I said, ooh, that was cold.
Well, yeah, it's cold in my heart. And not only that, but there was also Aurora.
Okay, I'm terminating this call. Goodbye, Rufus. Goodbye. Forever.
Goodbye, Bert. Ariel, I know you can hear me. Actually, I know you can't. 'Cause you're dead, but if you could hear me, I wonder. Oh, Ariel, when I was with you, the reception was fantastic. Everywhere we'd go. Oh, Ariel, you would comment on my chest hair and how that it would grow. And now the end is near, and so we face the final launch. And I know if you can't hear me, you wouldn't even mind my middle-aged paunch. Can you ever forgive me for letting you go the way I did? Can you ever forgive me for the bad things that weren't even my fault?
Oh, Ariel. Oh, Ariel. I'm sorry that I had to see you go. Oh, Ariel. Oh, Ariel. I'm even more sorry that it was my fault. What did I do to incur your wrath? What did I do to make you cry? I made you die. Oh, oh, Ariel. Oh, it isn't fair, Rio. Ariel. Ariel.
Well, it's finally time to open this. It's Ariel's will.
Huh.
If only I'd...
What's this? Just arrived in the mail. It looks like a copy of Ariel's will.
If only I could hear my old friend, but I can't. It's as if I see him, but I can see him, but I just can't hear him.
I
I can't hear him even if he was playing the ukulele. I wouldn't have been able to hear that. I wouldn't have been able to hear anything he says.
Imagine if Rufus were right here now complaining, as he always did, about not being able to hear me. Some kind of metatextual microphone issue that's probably solved now.
God, I need a drink.
God, I need a drink! God, before I can have a look here at Ariel's last will and testament without Rufus here.
God, I need more drink. If only I could just read this without just being interrupted all the time. I'm needing a drink.
I just need another drink.
This is the biggest whiskey I could pour. Oh, my eyes are getting all satiny again. Oh. It's time to read this goddamn will.
Time to read this goddamn will.
Dear Rufus,
Dear Bert.
You know, I will always love you even from beyond the spacey grave.
You know, I'll always love Rufus, even from beyond the spacey grave, but there's a place in my heart for you too, Bert.
But I want you to know, Rufus.
But I want you to know, Bert.
You weren't the only one.
You and Rufus were the only ones. But I'm telling him at the same time that he wasn't the only one. This is very strangely written, Will.
Rufus,
Bert?
I also loved Bert.
I'm gonna tell Rufus that I also loved you, Bert.
And now, Bert knows that Rufus knows that I also love both of you equally.
Bert knows that Rufus knows that Rufus knows that Bert knows that each of you was part of my heart, and I loved you. Each more than the last.
Even though Rufus thought that he was the only one. But actually, you were both special to me in your own ways.
You were both special to me in your own ways. Each more special than the last.
But which way was the most special? It's difficult to say, because special is a strange concept. One would say that there was a primacy about specialness, that you could only be the most special or could be special if you were the only one.
And so, Bert, we come to the matter of money, of my belongings, the meat of my will. Everything I own. I'm dividing in half between you, Bert and Rufus.
Bert. My God.
My God. Ariel, I'm gonna have to speak to him again.
Ariel. I'm going to have to speak to him again, even though, oh my God, I don't want to. I blame him for everything.
God, he blames me for everything. I can't face him. Ariel, how can you be doing this to us beyond the grave?
Beyond the grave? How can you do this to us now? We who loved you with a passion. How can you do this to us now? And why is lobster still in fashion? How can you do this to us now?
How can you do this to us now? Here in the afterlife. How can you do this to us now? You who were my best friend's penguin wife. How can you, from the comfort of the great beyond, stab me in the heart from where you're from? How can you do this? Can you do this? You will rue this somehow. How can you do this now? Rufus.
Bert.
Rufus.
Bert.
Rufus.
Yeah, Bert.
You
got something to say, Bert?
You
got something to say to me? You got something to say to my face? You got something to say to me? You got something to say in my mouth? Huh?
I'm guessing you got a copy of this, probably personalized.
That's why it came to me, because it was personalized. It had my name on it. That's
Yeah.
how it arrived. Probably you got one as well, personalized.
Yeah, had my address on it too.
Yeah, mine was embossed with Comic Sans.
It was embossed with. Why would she use such a terrible font?
She was bad at fonts. If you knew as well as I had done, which obviously, clearly you did, you'd have known. She loved Comic Sans.
She was a penguin, I guess. They're not known for their typographical sophistication.
No, and their love of all Sans. She loved Comic Sans, the Golden Sans, Julian Sans, big fan.
Yeah, she hated a serif.
I didn't hear what you said, I'm afraid.
I said she hated a serif. Sans is short for sans serif. The little ligatures you get on a font, that's what sans means. But of course you knew that, because she was famously vocal about her hatred of serifs.
Why are you doing this to me? Just speak to me, goddammit. Why are you just miming as if...
Hey.
Yes?
I spoke to Ernie.
Yeah, Bert.
Yeah. Spoke to my lawyer, Ernie.
Yeah, Bert. What did Ernie say, Bert?
He says that we got to work together. He says that if we're going to divide up this penguin's assets, 50% of everything, and remember, this is one of the richest, most beautiful penguins the world has ever known.
I'd say powerful, rich penguin. And if you want to be big, Bert, talking to Ernie, you want to be big, Bert?
Yeah.
Do you want to be big, Bert? You want to be big? You want to stand up like a man and make yourself big? You want to be Ernie, like someone who earns? It's time to face the music.
How can I say that I'm sorry? How can I repent? After all this time has been and gone, and after the damage is spent, how can I say I didn't mean it? How can I say it was different? How can I say that I hoped, oh Rufus, that this isn't how it would end? But maybe, Rufus, maybe one day you'll see that it was never just the penguin that meant so much to me. Yes, maybe you'll understand if you could come here and take my hand, that it's always been you. Yes, I'm speaking true. It was never the penguin, no Rufus. I love you.
I love you too, Bert. With all of my cold heart. And I'm going to take this will. And I'm going to tear it right down the middle. And this is your half. And this is my half. And I'm going to eat your half.
Rufus?
It was she who rent us asunder, has brought us back together. I thought that the separation of penguin from Earth into space, and the separation of two old friends getting even older. I thought we could never be friends again. But my God, I love you, Bert.
Rufus, if I'm not very, very much mistaken, we have a launch to prepare for. You know what I mean?
What you said was important, but just say it one more time so I can really hear it properly in my heart as well as my ears.
Rufus, we have a launch to prepare for. I think you know exactly what I mean. That's T-minus 37,500.
Say that again, please. I, again, can't hear you.
T-minus 300, Rufus. T-minus 300.
T-minus 300. I'm just going to press that button that means everything goes well. T-minus 300. Remember last time we said that to each other? You were way over there in Houston and I was in Santa Cruz. And now I'm looking at you right across this desk of a screen.
Yeah. It's great that we managed to transport our own home's decorations behind us so we feel truly comfortable.
I do like a backdrop. It's amazing what you can do now with just a little thing on Zoom or Skype.
It's so funny that I can just reach out and touch you right here.
It's almost as if we're reaching for the stars.
Would it be unprofessional of me to kiss you right now, Rufus?
Press that button again. Press it like you know I love it.
I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna press it all night long.
Press it all night long. You know you pressed my button. And you know you're the only one that's really pressed my button, you and Ariel. I reach for your heart. And know that you are with me. Reach for your heart. And reach inside your soul and know that I am with you every step of the way.
Yes, reach for your heart,
9,
because that's what matters to me. Yes,
7,
reach for
6,
my heart and
5,
look out for the RSPB.
4, 3, 2, 1.
1.
Bert,
Rufus,
we have
lift off. Thank you so much. That is the end of our story this evening. Let's bring up Justin. Thank you so much, Justin. What a beautiful story. Are you there, Justin?
Press that button again, Andrew.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go.
That one.
Lovely. Now, how that's... Now, what people may have picked up during that story is for some reason, we use Skype to connect. For some reason, Skype was randomly muting me just for Justin, not for the people at home. But randomly muting me for Justin throughout much of that.
Can I just clarify?
The voice of Duncan. Yes, hello, Duncan.
It might be worth pointing out it was muted for me as well, particularly when you were singing.
How very useful.
I didn't actually hear a word. I didn't actually hear a note you sang.
Well, there we go. In which case, if any of those songs worked at all, you can thank the mind-reading genius of Duncan Walsh Atkins. Duncan, can you turn your video back on, and then we'll get you up here.
Yeah, sure. I'll just kill the Zoom.
There he goes. When Duncan says he'll just kill the Zoom, he's referring to the second platform that we're using. Every week on Isolation, we have a slightly more complicated tech setup in order to try and bring maximum enjoyment to our viewers back there. So what we were doing this evening is we were getting video. Here we go. We got everyone there. We got video.
Done it again.
Lost you.
There we go. There. Yes. Muted again. That's very, very strange. We'll find out. We've got. Let's get a slightly bigger Justin in there. I will just do this.
I'll just go
manually there.
In answer to your question, Laurie, it's a collection of jazz musicians in Harlem in 1958. He was asking about the photo on the wall.
Ah, there we go. Lovely.
Yeah.
So to bring you this evening show, we're connected by Skype, which is where you see these videos, and then also we're connected by Zoom so that we can have Duncan's audio at the same time as us. And for some reason, something in Skype was deciding that it just wanted to randomly mute me, which wasn't happening last week when using an almost identical setup without Zoom. So we'll next week. There's always something to work on, isn't there, Duncan?
Yes.
But lovely. But I thought we had a. Oh, now Justin's gone small. Why is Justin so small? There he goes. Let's make Justin bigger.
A beautiful.
I thought a beautiful romance story there, Justin.
Yes, and I had to assume that was what was happening because I couldn't hear anything you were saying, but it was beautiful, and it was lovely to. It was nice to have that ending.
Absolutely. True, as is so often the case on Isolation, true love can win out, albeit in unexpected ways. Lovely. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and watching this evening. As I said at the start of the show, this week, for very obvious reasons, I imagine, I usually put a little pay what you want for the episode. This week, we've got a Just Giving link for the Stephen Lawrence Trust, Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust, which is an amazing organisation. It works with young people and communities that are underrepresented and marginalised, and creating opportunities for them. It's an incredible organisation. Do have a look at my Just Giving page. So I put the link in the description there. Please, if you have a few quid to spare and you might have paid a few quid for this in a theatre, do please consider donating that. And there's also lots of information on that link about the Stephen Lawrence Charitable Trust as well. It's an incredible organisation, so do check that out. Thank you for watching. We'll be back here next week with another amazing guest, as always, at 8 o'clock UK time. Justin, any final words before we go?
Thank you very much for watching. Please do donate if you can, if you're able. That would be great. And do tune in because Andy's doing great things every week. They're really fun shows to watch. Thank you very much. Duncan, any final thoughts?
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Stay safe and see you next week.
Fantastic. And just before we go, last week I played a little video that I'd made. Anyone who signs up for my Patreon, who signs up for the £25 bracket, gets a little thank you video in the style of their choosing. Last week I played Doug's video. This week I'm thanking Finn, who requested a thank you video in the style of Gilbert and Sullivan. So to play us out, I'm going to just click here and show you Finn's thank you video in the style of Gilbert and Sullivan. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. Goodbye, and hopefully see you right here, 8 o'clock UK time next week. Thank you, and good night. A wandering minstrel I, though quarantine confined, while stationary reminded of the best of humankind. So let me tell you, so that you may clap, of a prince, professor, and all-round great chap. Led fly felicitations to a fellow named Finn. Facilitation through donation for creation was his whim. Jubilate his generosity and tender-hearted touch. His venerable visions value very much. Left fly felicitations to a fellow named Finn. Facilitation through donation for creation was his whim. Jubilate his generosity and tender-hearted touch. His venerable visions value very much. His venerable vision, patronial position. His decision for provision was illegal, so we thank him very much. We thank him very